make his way to the ring for this one. A super middleweight contest scheduled for 4 2-minute rounds. From the Ivan Raffo stables in Werribee, the man they call Mr. Hollywood, Tony Miletic. And I tell you what, in the year 2000, this man was one of the busiest fighters in Australia. And now striking up again for the year 2001 and kicking it off against one hard customer in Marty Fogas. Oh, here's one mean-looking son of the gun and make his way to centre ring, part of the Fighting Fogas family. The brother of Attila Fogas, the former Australian professional boxing champion. It's young Marty Fogas. I tell you what, you talk about an iron set of fists, and this man's got him. Marty Fogas from the Braveheart Academy.
A super middleweight contest on this occasion. We're scheduled for 4 2-minute rounds under USA rules. Introducing first and fighting out of the blue corner from the Ivan Raffo stables in Werribee. Weighing in at 76.8 kilos, the man they call Mr. Hollywood, Tony Miletic. Fighting out of the red corner and the Braveheart Academy at 76.95 kilos from a famous fighting family, ladies and gentlemen, Marty Fogas. Bryce Ferguson, the man in charge of the action when the bell rings.
Well, third man in centre ring, Bryce Ferguson, calling both men to the middle of the mat. It will be Tony Miletic against Marty Fogas, scheduled for 4 rounds.
You have no questions? Listen to my commands at all times. You understand that? Protect yourselves at all times. All right, no questions. Touch gloves now in the last round. Good luck to you.
We are ready to go at super middleweight. Tony Miletic out of the blue corner, the Ivan Raffo stables. And, of course, against Marty Fogas. Ivan Raffo, the man who produced one of your toughest ever opponents, Simon Fennick, Hammer, the old days back at Festival Hall.
Simon Fennick, we had a bit of a Royal Rumble down there at Festival Hall. It was a very memorable fight, that one.
Your nose had a Royal Rumble right across your face. But you still came up trumps, Hammer.
Simon Fennick, gentleman.
Now, if I can also point out, that was on an Ian Jacobs undercard when he defeated Cash the Flash Gill for his first world title.
Yes, and what an honour it was to fight on the undercard of an Ian Jacobs world title. It was a great night, Festival Hall, House of Stoush.
Much stoush at Festival Hall always, and a little bit of stoush in centering at the moment. Marty Fogas, look out for the slick handiwork on him, and Tony Miletic, a competent all-rounder.
Well, Fogas looking like he's been doing a little bit of leg work. Here's the hands going.
Here come the mighty hands of Marty Fogas. Miletic in all sorts of bother, tied up in the red corner. Fogas has exploded. Miletic goes down. Miletic goes down. Well, he was just overwhelmed by the mighty level of Marty Fogas.
Watch Marty Fogas jump on Miletic. This is going to be called off, this one, I reckon.
You right, Tony? You want to go on with it?
Miletic's in another time zone.
Right. Lift your hands up. Lift your hands up.
Here's wobble. The eyes are rolling.
What?
Marty Fogas is going to be all over him like a rat.
Now.
Tony Miletic. The big right hand again, and this one's going to be all over soon. Miletic has no response. Fogas firing in unanswered blows to the body and the head. Miletic's got to get out of there. He's got to get out of dodge.
He's got to get out of there. He's got to tie up Fogas. Trying to duke it out with him when he's in a bit of bother. He should be hanging on and just getting some stock.
Well, Marty Fogas opened up like a house on fire. Only 1.5 minutes down here on the first round of action.
Well, how fit does Marty Fogas look, Michael?
My word, what a tank, the mighty one, Marty Fogas.
He's certainly done some rounds on the bags.
And look at Tony Miletic. He is zapped already. He's taken more knocks than a front door here in the first round. Big right hand again by Marty Fogas. Miletic just ties him up. Into the final 15 seconds, and Tony Miletic can't wait for the bell, Hammer.
Well, Miletic, the boy from the West, he's a tough cookie, though, Tony Miletic. He's had some absolute wars, and he has the ability to come back and confound his opponents. And he's starting to show good use of his legs now, Miletic. But he really doesn't want to get into a punching match with Fogas, as Fogas is really loading up.
Big
over the other, and absolutely loads everything up on Miletic as he has him pinned in that red corner.
Well, we're ready to rumble in the second round, and you can't half tell that Marty Fogas is the brother of the great Attila Fogas, can you? Look at the boxing skills on this man in the green trunks. And Tony Miletic had no answers whatsoever in the first round. It all belonged to the mighty Marty Fogas.
Well, Miletic really needs to be keeping on moving, because as soon as he gets tagged on the ropes or he gets stuck on the ropes, you can bet Fogas is going to just unload again, as we saw him do in that first round. Miletic really needs to be up on the balls of his feet, moving around and just trying to fire some shots from range.
You can have a look at the adaptation of Marty Fogas. He's assumed that more tie stance of his, a little bit flat-footed and a little bit wider in the guard than a traditional boxing stance. And will Tony Miletic go to the legs now of Marty Fogas, which is would have to be the weaker area of Fogas, of course, the less conditioned area.
Well, it's no use Miletic trying to outbox Fogas, because I don't think he's going to be able to do it, but he is going after his legs now. He's going to try and chop up those shins, get him corked up nicely, so Miletic's movement is going to, rather Fogas's movement is going to be retarded.
Oh, Miletic does not want to be trapped here in the neutral corner, right in front of our commentary position. A wild uppercut there from Marty Fogas. Fogas snaps in a probing jab. And Miletic just dances out of the way of trouble now.
Well, he's getting a bit more switched on to fighting out of those corners, Miletic. If he just stands there and covers, he's just going to let Fogas really unleash on him. He really needs to be either fighting out or tying up Marty Fogas when he does get in a bit of bother.
Comments from the Hammer Mark Castanini ringside with myself, Michael Chavello. We're coming at you from the Crown Showroom, and it's all part of K1 Max Victoria. Another great show brought to you by the super promoter Tarak Solak, who will be travelling around the country throughout September with shows in Queensland and Sydney.
Well, Queensland, big support base up there for all the Thai boxing, and that one's going to be at Movie World.
That is going to feature Gurkhan Ozkan versus Paul Briggs, Hammer. In a boxing contest, it's going to be a huge grudge match.
It's going to be a huge one, that one. All the boys from the usual support base up there on the coast, the Car Carnival crew, the boys from Cosmopolitan, the boys from Boonchu Gym and Restaurant, they're all there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is round number 3.
Let's go red.
We are ready to rock and roll in the third round of action. This one's scheduled for 4. The second round was a better one for Tony Miletic after getting dropped in the opening stanza. A more technical and more thoughtful second round from Miletic. He went after the legs of Marty Fogas, and Fogas, well, obviously slowed down in the second round. Wasn't able to unleash as much leather on Miletic.
Interesting to see Marty is going somewhat more the Thai style stance, come fight style, lead hand out, bouncing from foot to foot, not really Western style, rather more the Thai style, where they are a lot more planted until they do explode with their technique.
Outside thigh kick there from Tony Miletic was well timed to the lead thigh. Switching stance there from Marty Fogas, just switching to southpaw now back to an orthodox stance. High right round kick there from Mr. Hollywood Tony Miletic. Again, another tentative start here to this round. And a whipping high left round kick just searing past the brow of Marty Fogas. And we're 45 seconds down here in the third stanza.
Fogas is maybe in a little bit of bother with his legs. It could be a real good game plan for Miletic to go after those legs, because Fogas seems to be a little stiff, especially that lead leg. I'm looking at that thigh. The thigh looks like it's taking a little bit of damage.
Well, Fogas still controlling the centre of the ring and looking to close it off and work Miletic into a corner, as he's done now in the blue corner. Oh, Miletic wears a solid left hand smack bang on the kisser, and here comes Marty Fogas again with the punches. Miletic ties him up against the ropes, and Bryce Burtwhistle, the Hammer's old trainer, separates both men. We are 1 minute 25 down here in the third round, scheduled for 4. It's a super middleweight contest under USA rules. Miletic moves forward, waiting with a big leg kick to that outside left thigh again.
I'll tell you what, Michael, I'm seeing an opening here for Miletic, and that is the lead thigh of Marty Fogas. He's in a little bit of bother, and I can tell you what, his lead hand's starting to drop, because I reckon that lead thigh is starting to cause him a bit of bother, a bit of pain. Now he's actually switching stance on the way in, Fogas, and he's going to try and hit him, obviously, with the hand combos rather than working off the legs.
Are we seeing a turn of the tide, Hammer?
Well, I'll tell you what, Miletic weathered the storm in the first round, and now he's starting to chop up the legs of Marty Fogas. And how strong did Marty Fogas look in that first round? And that is the fight game. It just goes to show how things can quickly turn.
Get in there, mate. Not with your hands, with your legs. You've got to get in. This is the round. You've got to final shot. You've got to keep busy on the leg. Just bang, come in. Drop your body. Hard leg, turn on the body. Bang, hard. He's just waiting to get around. He throws his big left at you. Or throws a big right. He's not doing anything.
Well, you can see the big right hand there of Marty Fogas just trapping Tony Miletic in the blue corner momentarily there in the third round.
Oh, Miletic got stung with a good straight left there. But how tough is Tony Miletic, Michael? He's really weathered some absolute wars and come back. And could this be another one?
Well, Hammer, I'll tell you what,
fighting back.
On our unofficial scorecards, a 10-8 round first up for Marty Fogas, maybe 10-9 the way of Miletic in the second, and maybe Miletic slightly going to the third.
This could be the big decider, this one.
The fourth and final round of action. This one has been an interesting contest. Marty Fogas owned this fight in the first round, folks. No doubt about it, he dropped Tony Miletic, and Miletic was on another planet. But now Miletic has been biding his time and fighting back with some calculating techniques for the past two rounds.
Miletic really needs to come on strong, though. I mean, we're calling it probably a lot closer than what it actually is. It is Fogas's way, but Miletic, if he has a strong round here, he could perhaps cause a bit of a draw, I'd say, if he finishes quite strongly here, Miletic. Well, also, it could be Fogas's due to that first round.
That lead gaze of Marty Fogas as he moves forward again and just tags Tony Miletic with a snappy right hand. Miletic just dances out of the way of trouble. It's been a clean fight so far as well. Nothing really major for referee Bryce Birtwistle to intervene in. Snappy jabs there from Tony Miletic. He wants to go downstairs and work away at that lead thigh of Marty Fogas. That's going to be the focal point.
There you see him going after it. He's actually kicked the knee of Fogas a couple of times there. That lead knee of Marty Fogas has had a bit of a battering.
Step up front kick there off the right leg from Marty Fogas. Now just switching back to a conventional stance. Tags Miletic again, just twisting his neck around 90 degrees with the right hand. Miletic in trouble in the neutral corner now. A gut-munching front kick there from Tony Miletic, and another, and he gets out of the way of trouble yet again, Hammer.
Clever movement by Tony Miletic to work his way out of the neutral corner. Popped the front kick, got the distance on Fogas, and then just slid out off the ropes. And good technique there from Tony Miletic. I'll tell you what, he is somewhat an underrated fighter.
A very underrated fighter. He's only ever been a mid-card fighter, yet to be elevated to main event status.
Exactly.
Tony Miletic, but I tell you what, always you get your money worth when you're watching him, Hammer.
He's got a lot of heart, Tony Miletic.
Trained, of course, in Werribee by Ivan Raffo. As well, a very underrated trainer, I feel, Hammer.
He is underrated trainer. He's produced some very, very strong fighters, very tough boys out there.
And a man who's been around from the old days. There's the end of the fourth and final round of action. Hammer, we go to the scorecards, and then an easy one.
What an absolute war. I feel that Tony Miletic did come back towards the third and fourth round, but I think that Fogas could have done just enough in the early rounds to take this one. Nothing in it. You really could justify almost a draw, but Fogas with that very, very strong first round, it may just go his way. You see Fogas, absolute powerhouse, unloading. When he gets Miletic in the corner, Miletic really was in the fog. He really had a lot of pain coming his way. And Marty Fogas is an absolute picture of fitness. I'd say once his legs get a little bit more conditioned, Marty Fogas is going to be a real contender and a real strong fighter to overcome for anyone that steps in the ring against him. Just see him, absolute barrage, non-stop thrashing machine, Marty Fogas. Big hands, but there's that saving front kick there. The overhead view shows it well. Tony Miletic executing that one excellently.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a majority win. Judge Dave Hedgecock scored the bout 38-38. Judge Mark Corrie 39-37, and Judge Jamil Hassan 40-38 for your winner, Marty Fogas.
always a close one. And the winner, the mighty one, Marty Fogas.